And hello, internets. I forgot my headphones. It's always something. Hello, internets. Welcome to Exit to Eden. We are only running 10 minutes. I am only running 10 minutes late. Because it's my fault, really. Yes. Players, can you still hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, and I have a nice intro to read. And yay, it has not shown on the OBS. Good. Okay, so welcome to Exit to Eden, an actual play tabletop role-playing stream produced by Magic Fish Radio. If you'd like to see our back episodes, follow the link on our front page to our YouTube channel. Our campaign takes place in the NWoD or COD setting called Space the Infinite Edge, a setting originally developed by the MES organization, which we are running in our own direction without their oversight, and it's gonna be fun. System-wise, we're using an awkward hybrid of Second Ed, NWoD, and the Blue Book of Mind's Eye Theater from First Ed of NWoD, etc. And White Wolf's Quest for More Money. So what it boils down to is our players only need to roll 1d10 for tasks or challenges, which is a big difference between this and most other White Wolf systems. Because less is more on streaming games. So as for the setting itself, 6,000 years ago, 6,000 years in the future of our modern nights, the world of darkness persists. Earth that was got roasted by forces humanity no longer remembers, and the surviving humans formed the now ancient colonial fleet to find a new home. 4,000 years ago, humanity found and settled the core systems, none the wiser of any magical or supernatural aid in their endeavors from wizards, wolves, or vampires, which are obviously just folk tales from Earth that was. Over the millennia that followed, humanity found and learned to utilize the alien Stygian gates for inter-system travel, much like the jump gates in Babylon 5, and Starnet for inter-system communication, all controlled by the core's central government, of course. Humanity moved from the core systems into the Expanse, and about 50 years ago into the Verge, which is the furthest outward edge of known space. And there are people that go further, legally or otherwise. Unfortunately for the supernatural saviors of humanity, an interdimensional alien race called the Thurzaz, aka the True Fae, tried to conquer the core systems in the 1700s. After that, the veil fell for all races, and things became significantly more complicated for everyone. After a couple more millennia, and war with another new alien race called the Silent 50 years ago, it is now illegal to be a supernatural person in the core. Which brings us to Eden City. Almost 2,000 years ago, Eden System was founded as an independent, and against all odds remains independent of the core, the Imperium, the Megacorps, and the aristocracy. Anti-supernat prejudice is on the rise in the Expanse, and Eden is now one of the few systems left where supernats can live openly without resentment or harassment, including the present mayor of Eden City, which is the capital city on the planet of Balder, which is the one main habitable planet in Eden System. Obviously there were space Vikings, and they started running out of ideas by the time they got here. And yeah, so, which brings us to our party, an otherwise unremarkable interstellar tourism company company in Eden, called Carve Tourism Limited, which is also a front for an underground railroad, that they get supernats, synthetics, and other people discreetly out of the core and the Expanse into friendlier sectors of space. And in a society where supernaturals can live openly, there are plenty of surprising anomalies and problems that their company is weirdly suited to deal with, and keep having to deal with whether they want to or not. Because sometimes
Like
it sucks to be...
supernatural drug rings. Apparently, that's our problem now.
Well, I mean, the vampire prince of the city said it was, therefore it was, and they bankroll you, so there's that. Speaking of which, let's meet our player character protagonists, as overt heroes are kind of scarce in the World of Darkness. Starting with, okay, on my left, I think, because it's Zoom, Josh. Who are you today?
I am Patricio, who I think is technically also Carve, as he is one, a vampire, two, a hacker, and three, the CEO of Carve Limited.
Big boss man.
Uh-huh.
Hashtag
One of
Von
many.
True Life.
Even if most of my underlings are in fact much bigger than I am.
But is he the real Petruchio? We'll never know.
Oh, that's another question.
The world may never know.
Yeah, their face keeps changing. It's a good thing all your characters were written as potentially genderqueer. Let's go counterquackla. Let's go Widdershins.
Oh, it's the
Because
same
like,
thing, right.
like that has, why does that word seem easier to say than counterclockwise? I don't know. I'm on a lot of caffeine.
Fewer hard syllables?
Maybe. Alright, next, Merc. Who are you playing tonight?
I'm Merc. I play Idun, the Wolfblood. Not a werewolf, but something somewhat adjacent. I've lived on Eden all my life. I was born in Wolf Country, outside the city. I moved to Eden City to get away from the werewolves, because all the werewolves are assholes. I'm part of the Mercenaries Union.
Speaking of assholes, Dracus, who are you playing tonight?
I see I've earned my title as the resident asshole.
Well, you are also the resident mage.
Yeah. I'm Dracus.
You are directly responsible for the goose.
I would like to argue about that, but it's not worth it at this point in time. I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus. I am the group's mage and medic, but, you know, as a side effect of being able to occasionally heal people, I also definitely am part of the Entertainers Union and sell drugs for fun. You know, it's just really interesting to see what they do to people.
So yes, Dracus is the team drug dealer. To be fair, this is not actually part of their job.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah, well, it is technically part of my job. I work at Carve as a person to get our clients entertainment if they're looking for it. So, yeah, I am actually here as a tie-in with Umbrella Academy. This character was absolutely inspired by that Klaus.
Yes, but also Dr. House, so you're this awkward combination of the two.
Yeah, no, I just saw a comment in chat. Figured I would say something. Yeah.
You spelled your name the way I do, the way that Google Docs absolutely hates.
Oh yeah. I think it's a funny spelling, so I keep it. Because, you know, I'm totally getting away with being a synth that I shouldn't actually be at the moment, because we've got Omega Corp on our asses.
Well, Chiron just recalled all the LAU models.
Yeah.
So, never mind that you're about maybe, what are you, like 10 years older than you should be? Because
yeah. I'm 15 years older than the point where most synths have catastrophic organ failure. I'm practically ancient at age 65.
And get off my lawn, you whippersnappers!
Basically, by this era, it's not uncommon for a vanilla human to live to be like almost 200 years old. synthetic humans are generally only given a 50-year lifespan, and, you know, all the cybernetic implants they want, which I believe we were discussing on the Discord earlier today. But
Yeah.
somehow, Class has dodged that, and, you know, maybe...
And
maybe
well, now I've got a vampire looking out for me, so you know, I didn't change the spelling of my name when the recall went out, because I mean, if they want to pick a fight, it'll be fun.
It's obviously a hacker name.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's a reference to the very ancient Earth band, Deadmau. Only it's in your case, it's Dead Cloud. I don't know.
Which we only know through one poster.
currently held by the Cult of Hendrix. Which may or may not come up eventually if we can manage to expand our cast. So, if you end up liking what you're seeing, we are looking for more cast members. Because I have 3 awesome players right now, but sometimes life smacks us in the face, and I don't want my wonderful, loyal players to feel bad when they have to not be here and then we have to cancel game. So if we have 6 people, or 4 to 6 people, then it's much easier for people to drop out at sudden notice, since we're in the middle of an apocalypse, like, in real life. Yikes. So if you're interested, we have this is our usual campaign. We are also running a Demon Hunters one-shot for Halloween, because fuck it. Saturday's our night, and we're gonna keep it. And that will be run by Merc. So also,
It's gonna be great.
if you just want to try out streaming for one game, by all means, hit us up, private message us on social media, YouTube, email, whatever, and you know, we'll put you in. And we are fun to game with, I promise. For just $4 a month, you too can sponsor a tabletop gamer. Yeah. Honestly, once we get to affiliate, I have every intention of starting to do channel points, so viewers can do buy-ins with channel points rather than bits or whatever else there is. I really have no idea what I'm going to do with money if we get that far, but channel points. Of course, we still can't have the channel points until we're also eligible to get money, and I'm just like, seriously? Come on, Twitch. Anyway, speaking of nerd stuff, dollars for willpower refreshes. Willpower is helpful. Very helpful. But yeah, speaking of weird nerd creations, last week our protagonists pre-gamed and then went to let me get my notes.
ETC, I believe.
I know it's ETC, I just forget what it stands for, even though I wrote this darn thing.
So does everybody else who's also going to Hackercon and not really paying much attention to ECC.
Yeah, it's really Hackercon, but calling it ETC is how they get the megacorps to effectively bankroll it. Lol. The Expanse Tech Conference. So yes, clandestinely run by a bunch of hacktivists. They sell dealer's room. Well, they mostly sell exhibition hall space to the megacorps and anyone who wants to be a megacorp or bought out by one, etc. Sell that, you know, prime con real estate. And in turn, they can rent the Sal Convention Center in Farmtown, which is near the financial district in Eden City, which is just, you know, a neighborhood with a convention center surrounded by hotels. Like Dragon Con. Or Gen Con. I totally just wrote this plot because con season is canceled and I'm an extrovert and I need con. So my poor players now have to play out my fantasy. I guess? I guess this counts? I don't know. It's getting weird now. Okay. So yeah, and they went to their various friends and contacts, and Petruchio is actually on a panel now.
Mhm.
On which is approaching. And so what did Petruchio, what else did you do last? Because I believe you went shop. It was ostensibly a shopping episode, but I need
It's true.
con.
So let's see.
Busy.
I went shopping for things to try to turn our non-functioning ship into an actual ship.
Right, because y'all got that y'all busted, or rather, a magical rock creature in the hedge busted the privateers that tried to hack you, and you ended up with their ship, which has a hollow gate, which has a hedge gate in it, and it's weird. Literally.
So we would like to turn our pirate ship into a software pirate ship or something.
Yeah. Or, well, really, Petruchio, you don't hack a Ventru. You just don't do it. It's just a bad idea. So Petruchio is going to upgrade those systems to not be shit. Because pride, duh.
Like, how did you get in my system in the first place?
And then their
This is
system was so shit that they failed to nuke their own system. And it was just like, fucking privateers.
Gotta love those non-standard file structures.
Security by obscurity, anyone?
Dune,
Not actually a thing.
And I believe Dune and Klaus, you also went shopping, but Petruchio was more on the exhibition level, where people were like, "This is the latest in personal starship stuff, yay!" But let me take your order, sir, madam, or non-binary person. Meanwhile, Dune and Klaus went down to the actual dealer's floor, which is effectively the basement, so the dealers are all kind of grouchy because there are no windows. But it's still a lot of space, and there are definitely people selling licensed megacorp gear, but then there's also independent builders and inventors and retailers, junk shops, and plugins, which are cybernetic components, and I basically view them like tattoo parlors. So there are people on the floor, actually the equivalent of tattooing people on the dealer's room floor, while other people look through their gear, and also taking appointments for later. So there's people local to Eden, there's people from out of town and out of system. Basically, Hackercon moves from system to system, and it's part of how it stops from getting caught. And this year it's in Eden, because really the rest of the Expanse is getting kind of hateful. But yeah, so.
Always with the negative waves, Moriarty. Always with the negative waves.
I don't even know what that's from, but I accept your reference.
Kelly's Heroes.
Okay. Dune and Klaus, what did you get up to in the dealer's room?
Well, so we were looking for the Mega Corporation displays, but they're not here, so instead we went and checked out the local plug-in shops, because the off-world ones only had shit. Well, at least not as nice as what we already had, which was the real point of checking out the plug-in shops to begin with. I went and found the plugin shop where I first purchased my plugins and their most recent updates, approximately 10 years ago. Well, that was when the latest updates were. The first ones were courtesy of Anti, when I first joined the Mercs Union. So, the actual installer was busy on another person, but their sales clerk, who was apparently from another...
Yep. There's some of that happening.
As I recall, they were installing cosmetic eyeball upgrades, so I don't think there was quite that much going on.
Yeah, there's basically it seems like the people doing plugins are mostly like on the floor just doing cosmetic plugins. So like the way cybernetics work is you can get something actually useful, like an internal piece CPU, or something to enhance your nervous systems, that you're better, faster, stronger.
Or replace your skin with a stealth suit.
that. Or in this case, what did I say? It was some kind of like, it kind of adds a kind of holographic sparkly thing to your skin in a certain location. So it's kind of like a glitter tattoo that moves. But it's a cheap plugin, and people are silly, and it's a Hackercon, and they have one that says etc 41 something. Of course, I remember when my game is taking place. Why would you think otherwise?
So the salesperson whom we spoke to was their assistant, and they had come from off planet, from a planet where apparently supernaturals were not quite as much in evidence. Well, had never met a changeling or a vampire or a werewolf, or for that matter, a mage, as far as we're aware. So they were rather murky on the details of installing enhancements to supernaturals.
Well, Maze, the actual artiste.
Yes, the actual
Totally
person
waved at you and is like thumbs up to their new assistant, because Maze is non-binary. And so the girl at the counter was like, "Oh, okay." So the girl at the counter is very new, but if the boss says like take their order, make it. So it seems like Dune is more making an appointment. However, there's definitely been updates to Maze's own catalog since you last saw her for business.
Yeah. 10 years is a long time for technology.
She herself is a wolf-blood, so she's part of the whole Eden City wolf-blood mafia. Because for some reason, are just not a lot of werewolves that live here, which means there are so many wolf-bloods.
Because werewolves are assholes.
Werewolves are assholes. So many supernaturals. The changelings are really nice here, though. Which
Very
is not
There's so many of
suspicious.
them.
So many. And that's not suspicious at all. Anyway.
I really dislike how you keep saying that. It's
Well, I
not
mean, there's all the
suspicious
goblin
at
fruit
all.
you can eat.
Yeah, I mean, Eden City is so...
Truly, it is suspicious, and we aren't getting there anytime soon.
Goblin fruit actually grows right out in the mundane city parks, and there are pro-foraging standards and laws in effect. So long as it's not firethorn, just don't eat the firethorn, which keeps growing up everywhere, and no one's sure why. But this company, based on where they are situated in town, is actually part of the Firethorn Rescue Brigade. So it's sort of like a volunteer firefighter department, only it's Firethorn, which is awful. Anyway, but yeah, so Maze's assistant is taken, and her assistant, their assistant, misgendering my own characters, what's wrong with me? Their assistant is more than happy. It's like, so, pick from this catalog, or if you see something that another vendor is offering, like, we can work something out. Just, try to take note of what it's called and what its serial numbers are, and we can see if we can also get that.
Okay, let's see.
So what were each of you looking to upgrade? Because I believe both Dune and Klaus have plugins.
Yeah,
And Klaus has to be kind of careful about who they have working on their plugins.
Yeah.
Because they are a recalled synthetic human, and so their plugins are kind of barcoded. But
Yeah.
Maze is trustworthy.
Seems that way, at least.
We lost Mark.
They'll be back.
I was kind of thinking about it, and I don't know. I think Klaus hasn't quite decided whether or not getting a plug-in or upgrade at this point is necessarily a smart idea. But boy, is the temptation there. It's a big tech con. This seems like so much fun. I was doing some of the reading earlier, and I noticed that one of the things that synths have going on is short memory, and I think that is not a great trait for Klaus to have. So I assume maybe one of their plugins that they already have is something to sort of enhance their memory rather than like, because I have the database going on. And that's just like stored data, but I don't know. So if I'm going to do some sort of upgrade, I might upgrade that somehow. I haven't really seen any need though up to this
To your
point.
dice rolls. Yay! Jedusk. Yay, hi, welcome. Klaus is a Moros. They do not have a tradition because mages are assholes. Although there is a helpful, like, more powerful Moros in town called Jasper that they helped a few episodes ago. And he's pretty chill.
I'm fine with Jasper.
Other mages, not so much. Like that there are so many Acanthus in this town. Oh my goodness. It's awful. Not a lot of, what else was it? I forget. Anyway, con. So yeah, where are we? Let me just set the timer for our break so I don't forget it.
Good plan.
I would appreciate that.
Someday I will get back to the. We will finish this stream and game, and I will get back to the actual con that I'm actually at.
Actually, virtually though.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so Patricio, you are still on the expo floor. So is there anything you wanted to investigate after given that you are a chartered company and you yourself are a member of the Conservators Union, you can paying cash is not gonna be difficult.
Yep.
It's like, honestly, I should really just link the spaceship building document to the Discord and just say, what do you want?
Yep. I've seen it. We'll talk.
We'll talk. So
a lot depends on the size of the ship, which we'll need to look at because apparently that's the big thing. It is very much a callback to Robotech.
Okay, I've only played Robotech a couple times. I am not.
It was all about weight, whereas here it's all about size. Yeah.
Weight and heat.
Yes.
I have played Robotech, but it's a lot of the more esoteric parts of it. I'm just like, what?
It's been a very long time for me as well.
I would have played it at Gen Con, where you just go to the grinder and keep playing various models until they get blown up by the other models, and then you get another model, and it's awesome. Okay.
By the way, Merc said that something came up and she'll be back probably in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Good.
Then in that case, I will bug Patricio for a bit.
Okay.
So yes.
So did I see anything? I obviously put in an order for upgrades to the ship, which will work out between sessions. But is there anything that I noticed? Because the other reason I was on the expo hall was to see if there was anything interesting, either that I would find interesting or to tell Granny about, given that this is all a favor to Granny.
Kinda, sorta, yeah. So Granny Flax is... I don't know if notorious is the right word, but she is a level... Like, Patricio is a level 4 hacker, Granny is a level 5 hacker, and you don't get to be a 200-year-old little old lady without doing something right, and maybe smart. But she broke her hip out on the verge and couldn't make it to con, and she just doesn't ever seem to want to visit Eden, which is a bit weird, because there's a big, healthy criminal element in this system, and black hat and gray hat alike, and she's very much a gray to white hat. Why isn't Granny coming to con?
And,
Like,
and she's a mage. Mages aren't discriminated against in Eden. I don't know.
also having known her, she is an Obermost, so the thought that a broken hip could stop her doing anything or going anywhere is kind of like, really?
It's clearly an excuse, but I don't have any leads to, unless I'm going to try to hack Granny, which seems like a terrible, terrible plan.
She's got
Pissing off Granny seems like a bad idea.
Yep.
she's got
Really bad idea.
she's got big unstoppable grandma energy, and she knows how to use it. But yeah, well, someone mentioned to you there's this so you kind of get a sense, like at any kind of convention, the size of one's expo hall plot is a good judgment of how much money that company has to spend on an expo hall plot. So one thing that you're hearing from around is that there's this new video game company called well, the company is Bonyip Games, and they have this new game called Vergeville, and they've got like this whole like really big setup for their video game, and players, people allowed to go in and play it, and it's they're not part of any megacorp. People are assuming that they want a megacorp to buy them up so they can distribute, and whoever designed it can, have lots of money. Because that's one of the things that happens at a tech convention like this. So that seems to be like the big popular hot thing. Other than that, I remember your group had an interest in checking out Chiron's in a floor about the height of the Javits Center in New York. There are rooms for the mega. You can tell like in the central of the expo room are the megacorps, because they have actual multi-tiered, multi-leveled booths. And yeah, Chiron is right there in the middle with all the other megacorps. And then like you go from like the actual megacorps, and then around those is their subsidiaries and shell companies, and then they kind of like disperse outwards. And so Petruchio is kind of a bit far to the side in like, these are the kind of ships you buy if you are an individual person or small chartered company that owns a ship.
Right.
Further in towards the center is, I would like to buy a fleet of ships. And then there's, I would like to buy and arm a fleet of ships for a personal army. So they're really, all kinds are available for service here. And there are basically people that wander around the megacorps just to see what the F is. It's almost more like going to a World of Tomorrow kind of more abstract, esoteric display, because these are things so far out of the purview or purchasing ability of the average citizen.
Well, and I assume that we're selling ships is actually a sideline for the companies that are here that'll give you a ship. They're primarily here to show off their tech, because what they really want is to become a vendor for the people setting up fleets of ships.
Yeah, there is that happening. My ship company, if we get bought up by a bigger ship company, we have more money and more customers. Because some people want to be corporate. But it pays for the hacktivist convention, so we make it work. And there are all sorts of fun little bets and games on the black web right before con about all the games you get to play with the megacorps, and you win if they don't find out. So yeah, also Chiron didn't say they weren't selling synths.
Yeah, we're gonna want to know.
But in system, slavery is not slavery of humanoids is not recognized.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to look at Chiron. So yeah, I will head over to Chiron. I mean, I'm interested in the video game people. And keep an eye out for anything interesting there because that seems to be the hot new thing.
I think Dune
So
and I wanted to check out Chiron as well, so maybe
Okay.
we meet up with you somewhere
Sure.
and
Okay, I mean, we can also. There's also something else Petruchio can do.
which
Because
is
well, Petruchio checked out on the various community boards.
oh, that's
Are
right.
there
I should
any?
check.
Yeah, when is your
Yes.
panel?
That's a good question. So my panel is coming up soon. Is the quick question? Is it coming up now before I can meet them or hypnotize anyone in Chiron, or should it happen?
Let's say for the sake of Dune getting back, we'll say it's it's a little early, but it's always good to get you may or may not have been through this convention center before. So maybe you should, you'll be a little bit early, but you get a sense of talking to the other panelists if you deign to do that.
I can head to the green room.
Yeah, head to the green room.
Sure.
It's basically you've got the dealers in the basement. Expo hall is just this vast first hall, and it's basically imagine if the Javits Center was like 20 stories high.
Yep.
And then like 7 to 10 floors is all the okay, Dune is back. If y'all wanna check out Chiron Corp. Or just Chiron.
That was
Sure.
definitely
Sure.
one of the
Let's
things
say
Dune
that
wanted
I
to
still
do.
have an hour or so before I need to show up for green room, so we have a chance to check out Chiron and we can meet there.
So funny thing. While I'm thinking about it, Petruchio, roll wits and crafts.
Sure. That is a 7, and the die roll was a 1.
You notice nothing.
Nope.
yikes.
Ouch. That's a big oof.
No, actually, you botched it. So
Yeah.
you
No,
kinda
that's
look
why I mentioned the
down.
1.
You work so hard to get Granny's oatmeal crack cookie recipe, and then you used that great crafts roll to make them, and you suddenly look down, like kind of at your. Do you have like a shoulder bag, or do you just have infinite pocket space in your jacket?
I think I have a briefcase. Because I needed something to store the bits and bobs I'm bringing for the panel as well.
You have a thought, and you notice that your briefcase looks slightly ajar. When you look inside, the cookies are gone. Everything else is there, but someone
The
stole
cookies are
your
gone.
cookies.
Oh, I was gonna bring the
Damn
cookies to the
it.
panel.
Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar?
Damn.
That's it. That's the real mystery of this con. Who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? We're gonna be investigating that the entire time now.
Who stole the cookies from the Von True's briefcase?
Yeah, really.
This seems like a really bad idea. I don't know who did it, but they're either up to something or they're an absolute fool.
It's possible someone stole it, but you also had to open your briefcase to get some of the financial info for the ship dealer. So it's possible you might have moved them and just forgot to put them back in.
It is possible that I
But-
put them down at the. I'm gonna have to check that dealer on the way out. I'm not sure I've got time before my panel if we're going to check
Well, I
out
mean, it is-
class. But at
it is
some point, I need to check back and see if they have my cookies.
It is a 4-day con, and it's Thursday.
Yes.
It's day 1. So
So you're now reminding me very heavily of Gen Con, where I once bought a bunch of games, went over, played a physical game, like I think that was the chopstick game. Went to somewhere else in the convention center, noticed that I didn't have my tablet anymore, that I had been reading a book on. Went back to the dealer's room, dealer's table, didn't see it there. Went back to the dealer I bought the board games from, didn't see it there. Went back to the hotel room, did not see it there. Went back all the way back with my phone on in a fashion where it would automatically pair with my phone, and I would notice when it connected to the network on my phone and it paired at that dealer's table. It turned out that the kid who was working the dealer selling the physical games had taken it for safekeeping and put it on a high shelf to make sure it wouldn't get stolen. And I would not have realized this had I not been using electronic means to find my phone.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have electronic means to locate cookies.
Unfortunately.
Not-
Well,
not-
I don't know.
Not after
What-
rolling a 1, you didn't.
I said
Well, I
cookie
definitely-
robots, not boogie robots.
Well, I definitely lost my cookies. The question is, what are the odds that I put a tracker in the cookie jar for later? Just
I mean, you are Vantru.
I mean,
Yeah.
you are Vantru. These are your cookies, and you are a Vantru, and they are yours unless you give them to someone. So, okay, do you want to roll? I guess this roll another wits crafts. Did you put a tracker chip in the cookies?
so that's a 9.
Okay, it's so you did. However, you were in the middle of a tech convention trying to track a bag of cookies. So I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm saying it right now, like, you know they're somewhere.
Yep.
You just don't know where yet. And well, your conundrum is that actually I'm gonna go back to Klaus and Dune in the dealer's room. Because this is a con, so I can just throw in all of the NPCs I want.
Indeed, you can.
And yay for this plot conceit. I love it. So as you two are wandering through, Patricio, do you text your employees about, like, do y'all want to roll Chiron?
Sure. And by the way, something happened to my cookies. We're gonna have to find them. It's
I'm just going
importance.
to respond like, no! With way too many O's. Not the cookies!
So on, it's a dealer's room. There are so many dealers of so many items. You walk, you're kind of start heading towards the entrance and the stairs, and you see something that's a little out of place. There's what is ostensibly a junk vendor. Like, they're selling the kind of archaic, ancient equipment that Petruchio has in his briefcase. But also, like, books. And, like, pottery. And they just seem to be kind of a general, like, antique dealer. Like I said before stream, badge pickup is applying stickers to people's badges depending on certain things. So yellow means you're carrying weapons, because why would they bother taking them away from you? Red sticker means mercenaries union. So Dune has both a yellow and a red. Blue is a panelist sticker, which Petruchio has. However, green is merchants union. Orange is Conservators Union, so Petruchio... Actually, you could all potentially have an orange sticker since you are all part of a chartered company that is part of the Conservators Union. So just, bring that up if you want. Purple is Entertainment Union. Black is Explorer Union. And gray is Merchant Marine, which is what Idun system has rather than a standing army. It's sort of a fleet of Corsair ships that all dock up on the Sisters, which is a space station that is effectively the original colonizing ships welded together. And yeah, they've been an organization since the Silent War, when Eden system was on the very edge of known space, and the Silent were specifically attacking everyone on the Outer Rim and then working their way inwards. And they're like, oh shit, we don't have an army. But bringing in the Imperial army would mean kowtowing to the core. So they're like, well, we have all these ships and these people who are, for whatever reason, good at fighting. Do you want to protect us? We will clear all previous charges. And they're like, yosh. And now
Give you money.
Yeah, and there's a payroll and maintenance for ships, and So yeah, the guy running the kind of big burly, rough looking guy running this antique store with a lot of delicate things. He has a badge that says he's both green merchant union, but also a gray merchant marine sticker, and he's haggling with a woman or female presenting who is more or less dressed like, how did I? Oh, she's dressed like Grace Kelly. So 1950s, tight sweater, wide waistband, circle skirt, and little locket, and she's haggling over like this kind of small book thing, and you kind of like just get a sense of like the negotiation is not going the way she wants it to, until she suddenly gets kind of shinier, and the guy she's dealing with gets more malleable, and it sounds like she gets the price she wants. Like it's a very loud dealer's room. There's noise bouncing off everywhere. You can't really hear the words specifically, and also I hate performing NPC theater. I hate it even more than I hate
Valid.
I hate playing it even more than I hate watching it. So I'm not gonna put, but yeah, you definitely get a sense this woman might have done a magic for this like weird tiny, like it's like this narrow oversized book. It's really a weird item, but because you two are walking past, like, she's super hot also, and she herself has a badge with a green merchant union sticker on it. Actually, she has both a green and a black sticker, so she's merchant, somehow both merchant and explorer union.
Yeah, she stole somebody's sticker.
I feel like that is probably highly frowned upon.
Sticker fraud.
Sticker fraud.
Or it's like these thingies where it's like you can collect all of the union stickers, but yeah.
Well, I don't have enough dots and marsh need to do anything about that, and are either of them a changeling?
What do I usually make you roll for that? Because that would be your
Wits investigation, I think, or possibly wits occult.
Yeah, I would say this would be wits occult.
Okay.
Because Dune may be only a wolf blood, but the blood has given them some additional benefits.
14.
Okay.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I can sniff them.
So the merchant dude smells like, greenery and thorns and hedge, and so might be some kind of changeling. The lady is definitely a vampire, but a super cute one. And she's, exchanging credits and kind of looking over, and she's wearing these like white satin gloves, and she's kind of she kind of opens a tote bag and takes out like
Does she smell local?
well, how many vampires does Dune know?
Dune has been immersed in at least like 2 nests because we went and did stuff for them. Like we've had up close and personal encounters with like some higher up vampires in the city because we had to do the drug thing, and then we also did the police thing, and we've encountered a fair number of vampires at this point.
And you worked as a bouncer at a bar that Supernats frequent.
Yeah. All the vampires in the city have an edge of goblin fruit to them for some reason. Like it's just everywhere and it sticks after a while.
Okay, I'll grant you that. She does smell a little bit like goblin fruit, and she also doesn't smell like she's been on a spaceship for a long time. So she smells local. Yeah, basically, I dare say you're right. The smell of goblin fruit permeates everyone in Eden City.
Yep.
Although that said, goblin fruit doesn't grow so much outside of Eden City.
Right.
So
you know anybody who's come in from the hinterlands recently?
Probably.
Because they're usually covered in scars because that's where the werewolves are.
There are a lot of areas that are not run by, that are not considered wolf country.
I know, I'm kidding, but yeah.
Though
yeah.
werewolves running a luxury spa and resort does amuse me, and we might come back to that. Who knows? So she's just like...
Dune can't go. That would be one of the episodes that Dune was not on because Dune can't go.
There you can.
So
Sure
this,
they can.
this lovely woman is kind of taking her this wide but narrow little book and sort of putting it in, like a sleeve, like you would for an expensive comic book. And she's kind of like, just sort of looking at it through the sleeve and through her gloves.
Does the book smell funny?
It just smells like old book.
Fair enough.
So, which is a smell.
Not unpleasant, but not revealing either.
Yeah, the book is not any kind of magical or weird thing. It's just an old book. And it's an antique store, so.
Fair.
I would say with that much of a roll, I'll say that you do see that it's got like big pretty illustrations on the cover. And a big kind of fancy title. It says The Three Little Wolves.
I'll change vectors slightly so I walk closer to the woman. Like, I'm not going to bump into her or anything like that, but I'm going to be close enough that a vampire could definitely hear this. And I'm going to say, I don't think the Merchants Union would be very impressed with a vampire using magic to influence prices with that unfairly.
And, for better or worse, Auspex is a thing. So, what? And she just sort of, like, looks up at you and smiles, and, like...
I was never going to do anything else, I'm just going to keep walking. I just wanted to say that since you heard me.
Fun time, roll... Oh, you're human. You don't have a power stat.
Mostly human.
Mostly human. Roll resolve plus composure.
So willpower.
So 7. Yeah, roll your will stat.
Find a better place for this.
Because, you see someone using awe in the dealer's room. What else might they have?
So that's 14 again.
Okay. And she rolled a 15. So you are suddenly like, you were just passing by, and then you kind of like in a rom-com, just like, she is so pretty and sparkly, and you just need to go and walk over to her.
I was kind of like, a step behind Dune walking through here, and then he just stops up short, and I
run to the back
keep
of him.
walking past for just a moment before comically going, what? Dune!
So Dune walks up, and then Dune looms because Dune doesn't do anything else.
She does not seem at all like, you're maybe a foot taller than her, and she just sort of like gently kind of caresses the lapel of your trench coat. It's like, if the Merchants Union was not amenable to flexible pricing, they wouldn't have let us in the first place. And she kind of like, almost sleight of hand, kind of tucks a business card into your front lapel and kind of then smooths down your chest and just walks away. And lets her presence drop. And
she's lucky she didn't reach any further down because there are knives in that coat.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have to be crass. She's not walking away super quickly, but she does let that effect drop because, all she wanted was for you to not punch her.
Not what?
So not punch her while she was making her case.
Oh, I was...
Hashtag Deva life.
I didn't particularly care either way. I just wanted her to know that if somebody else caught her doing that, she could be in trouble. But I didn't care because I'm not on contract about that. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But what does the business card say?
It says Marguerite Muscat, the House of Bast, which let me see what
With
you
Streetwise?
have. Yeah, for you it would be Streetwise. Or int Streetwise.
Awkwardly, like, craning my neck to look at this business card.
12, I think.
Okay, well, Klaus, would you also like to roll?
Yeah.
Because this is kind of more.
I've just witnessed this strange interaction. I'm
13.
curious.
13
What would it
different
be for
system.
me?
I would say, Klaus, I have your character sheet up. That would again be. Oh, you don't have politics. Okay, I would say, that would also be wits streetwise for you.
All right.
But you both have a higher roll there, and also this is sort of in your wheelhouse more than Dune's. Well, yes and no.
3 successes.
Okay. Dune rolled a 13. What did
I
Klaus
rolled a 14.
Okay. So you both get about the same, Oh, well, 3 successes is 14, so...
Yeah.
So, Dune, you have heard of the House of Bast. It is a bordello. And it is, it's kind of in that part of the financial district that's next to Riverside. So they're not, like, elites only, but they are, the higher end. Klaus, you definitely have heard of this because the House of Bast not only seems to be run, not only are they entertainers union, you're pretty sure they're run by vampires who might have some kind of a sex cult going on.
Okay.
Also, they really like cats for some reason.
Cats from the world, man.
For some reason?
For some reason. House of Bast, it's like a cat thing. You don't...
And that's why Dune's never been there.
Like Klaus, you've probably heard of it here and there, and that it's
Yeah.
really swanky, and sometimes really weird, because it's maybe a vampire sex cult, and a bordello.
I'm gonna, look at that and be like, bloody hell, Dune, pick your battles a little more carefully.
I wasn't picking a battle. I was simply warning her that there are others who are not as lenient as I am in this convention. If she'd been caught by one of the people who run it, then she could have been in a lot more trouble, because they would not have gotten in close.
I mean, good on you for looking out for the other con attendees, but someone from the House of Bast can probably watch their own back.
I didn't know she was from the House of Bast until she gave me her damn card. I don't patronize the place. It's full of cats. And cats don't like wolf bloods any more than they like werewolves.
Klaus, with your number of successes, you know for a fact that is not true. They are open to anyone who's up for paying.
And presumably the cats are a metaphor?
I'm just not going to say anything more here. I would like to point out, though, that cats can and will go to the person who least likes them in the room, so that's not even a valid argument.
True. But if you try and do that to a werewolf, there's half a chance they'll eat them.
You're not wrong.
Got a lot of missing pets in wolf country, or at least on the edges of wolf country, and you never see half of them again because they got too friendly with the wrong person and ended up in a stew.
That's so sad.
Like I said, werewolves are assholes.
Hashtag
There's a
not
reason I'm no
always
longer in wolf country. So,
Indeed, Fadior. Who doesn't like cats?
I'm a little concerned by the capitalization of cats in that message, but like,
as long as it's not Cats 2019.
see, that's
Well,
kind of where my brain went.
Given the amount of mind control involved, I liked it. It was better than Cats. I will see it again and again.
9 lives.
So yeah, I
Like-
mean, the business card does have her phone number on it. Maybe she
I'll put-
likes doggos.
I'll put it in an inner pocket and keep it.
There are
but-
lots of cats that get along with puppers. Some of the cutest videos on YouTube. And Fangbook.
Does YouTube still exist?
No, I'm sure Fangbook exists and Wolf Space.
The Daily Howl.
Actually, it would be Mage Space.
Yeah.
And what would Werewolf Twitter be? Howler.
Are we
Yeah.
kidding?
Of
The
course.
mages would be on Tumblr.
I was gonna say, I can has Deerburger would be where people would post werewolves. Not where werewolves would post, but it's where people would post werewolves.
Oh, hi, Milk Maven. Yes, you remember this cat. Because when I run a game, I get to recycle all the PCs into NPCs I want, and I miss getting to Marguerite. Because no one runs Requiem anymore. But don't worry, she's your friend now.
She's something.
I'm
anyway.
intimidated by that.
You shouldn't be. She is the sweetest.
The DM telling me how to feel is not a good feeling.
Isn't that
I'm
what the whole
sorry.
point of
This is
presence
not
is?
encouraging, Chris.
DM gaslighting. I will try to avoid doing that. Okay.
Unless a game effect happens to cause it, because that happens sometimes. But
Yeah. Well, that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll. Like, she was magicking and then she was magicking more, and she's probably a vampire. And this seems like or Klaus. This definitely that seems like vampire bullshit. Just not.
I'm just
the-
gonna be like, as we're walking out of this part of the hall, just be like, vampire bullshit.
Majesty.
You decide to call her, good fucking luck, dude.
I don't tend to call a second time, honestly.
Well, I mean, SD hint. It'll be worth it. But I mean, she goes for the best price. This doesn't mean she doesn't return value.
So
Anyway, so y'all are are continuing to try and get out of this basement dealer's room, where you are being tempted by all of the temptations, natural, supernatural, technological, and otherwise. And you walk past what is effectively like the fan tables, where they're not necessarily selling stuff, but I mean it is a nerd convention. So while there really aren't fandom tracks or the like, there are fan clubs that just have tables, and if Petruchio were there, they would know that they get like a discount rate because they're just fan tables. There's like, hey, we are in Eden City. We are the cult of Star Trek. We are analyzing, ancient digital tomes to figure out where Earth that was is. And we're pretty sure if we find where these Klingons and these Romulans are, we'll be able to, like, triangulate where Earth is.
there's still a table full of weebs. There hasn't been a Japan in like 4,000 years, but there's still a table full of weebs.
Well, that's still, somehow, Japanese anime is still a very popular art style. And that's more in the actual vendor section. So there's tons of animation, both hand and digital, and there are fan clubs of those kinds of animation. Yeah, the Cult of Trek boasts our chapter has over 300 episodes in our database, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, so that's
This is
there.
giving me like the same vibes as this play that I saw on campus here last year. The whole premise was that society had collapsed after nuclear meltdowns, and the main characters were trading Simpsons episodes and trying to reconstruct them and play them on stage because they no longer had TV and electricity.
Basically, so the way MES runs this venue, they say no pop culture references ever, except you're allowed to use old music. I refute this, and because we're not part of MES, fuck it. There's a Trek cult.
I fully
There's a
support this.
Sounds
I'm
great.
losing my
There's
shit over it.
I will die without pop culture references. Like, it is how I live. I am
Yeah,
So how
a
are we-
subgroup of the spring court that muses nerds. Like, I need it.
They have a blood feud going on with the Order of the Jedi. It's a religion that sprang up in the wake of all the everything.
So their background, as I recall, is basically there was a war, there was a giant hard drive crash, and they lost all information about Earth that was. Do we basically have that, but we have little bits and pieces that we can sort of put together?
Yep, and that's, part of what they talk about on the archaeology track.
Yep.
memes,
gonna be-
ancient memes.
Memes!
I
memes have
refuse to
old.
believe that in a world where we still remember the ancient deities, that we wouldn't have remnants of the internet. That's just how sci-fi must work, you know?
Well, I mean, you can always rebuild stuff from printouts.
Also,
You can't rebuild everything from printouts.
Also, Star Trek actually went over this whole thing with, Jarmad and Talak at Shanagra. No, I'm saying the words wrong. Someone in chat tell me what the actual words are, but yes, Trek went over this, ironically.
Yeah, but like people have plenty of illegally or legally downloaded stuff on external hard drives, and no amount of internet crashing can erase that.
And the more technology progresses, the smaller our hard drives need to be. So there's that.
Yep.
I mean, they managed to figure out a way to encode the entire Library of Congress on a crystal coin about that big. So
I believe it.
That's so fucking cool. Oh my god.
It's laser
LC
crystallography in 5-dimensional data storage, I think. I'd have to link you the article, but yeah.
Wow. That's straight out of it's not Clark Ashton Smith. There's some piece of early science fiction where someone goes, this crystal that that a lady could wear in her ear holds more information than the entire all libraries on Earth. And we're kind of there.
Almost.
So
It's just really hard to make the things.
Anywho, game. So speaking of cults, or I'm sorry, religions. As y'all are walking past the fan tables, there's the Trek cult. One of them is boasting about how they've managed to find the Babylon 5 Apocrypha. All 8 episodes. But there is also an actual church that kind of they have like a little table up. They're not super, there's just 2 people there, and it's called Church of the Weird. You don't have to roll. Both of you have heard it. It's like a church for changelings, and it looks like they're not so much preaching, but they're like we're putting together a scholarship for changelings who want to go into higher education with regards to technology and computers, etc. So they basically have like a sign-up list for changelings to sign up, and they're like, we have literature if people want it, but really we're just here. You don't have to be a member of the church to be eligible for this scholarship. And they're just talking to people, and changelings. Dude, I won't even make you roll for it. Like, everyone around this table smells like a changeling. And some of them are actively eating goblin fruit.
Give them a bit of a birth, because I'm used to it after this time, but that's a lot of changeling to smell.
Well,
I feel like
there's been a lot of changelings everywhere here because it's Eden City.
Yeah.
In a not literal way, they probably smell so strongly of changeling that even I can tell this.
Well, also like Church of the Weird, like they're just known.
Yeah.
So that's, and they get to be put right up by the door because they're putting together, like a scholarship, because they're a church. And they want, the betterment of changelings and changeling life and changeling reintegration and all that. And so, yeah, it gets to be pretty nice and open. So yeah, at this point, y'all meet up with Patricio. You have time to stop by the Chiron mini mall / museum
Understatement.
in the middle of the expo room. If do you meet Patricio there, or do y'all meet up at an entrance and then walk over? Like, what's the
Probably
plan?
meet up at an entrance.
And walk over, yeah.
Yeah.
Klaus,
Sure.
how no, I'm gonna be nice. You're fine, Klaus. You're just,
I mean,
walking into the Chiron booth after your entire genetic line has been recalled. I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not a great plan.
I will at the very least do the hood up, mask on kind of deal. Should I grab a mask
Like
for
I said last game, there are people selling masks and lots of people wearing them, because in a world where there is elite society controlling everything, plenty of which rich people actually wear face coverings to go about in public unnoticed. And some of the masks in the dealer's room were specifically being sold as We Jam identity reading technology.
Yeah, I said last week that I was gonna snag one of those at some point while we were wandering around.
It's the in-game equivalent of $5. It's like not even.
Yeah.
And you are definitely not the only person wearing one of those masks and a hood or a hoodie.
Yeah.
There are hoodies,
I am not,
there
in
are
fact,
trench
going to
coats.
grab one of my masks because they are probably not dry.
The only reason Dune stands out is because Dune's trench coat is not black leather.
Yep. Dune's trench coat is blue canvas. And he's wearing, a watchman's cap, which is not as popular nowadays in the fancy sect.
Fadir says you should spring for the bedazzled version. That'd be $10. Is there a Captain Tight Pants cult? I dare say they consider the Firefly Saga is a 2-episode series and is again a Trek apocrypha. There's just so much Trek, friends. So much.
All right.
I'm honestly, Klaus, I kind of see you in one of those, 3/4 masks that I saw at like the last when I went to Anime Midwest, which are sound reactive, so you can pump music into them and you get the.
I'm sure there's someone doing that because it's a tech conference in the future.
Yep.
I'm being as ostentatiously individual as I can be. Because if I'm not conforming to whatever they programmed into the LAU units, then I won't peg as one, right?
Totally. That's exactly how that works.
Sure. All right, June, Klaus. Wait, that is Klaus, right?
Klaus?
No, not at all.
Right.
All right.
I'm
then.
just some guy who decided to follow Dune around
This is
earlier.
not the synth
Absolutely.
you're looking for.
So I've located where our target is. If we can locate where the suits are hanging out or any data ports that we think might actually have useful information. If I can get a suit and hypnotize them, then I can get them to do the dirty work for us. That'll help. Or possibly someone who's not so high up, but who has access. Also here, I hand out a couple of data sticks. I've made some trackers for the cookies. We can triangulate. We should be able to figure out where they are.
Can I see your briefcase, please?
I finally get a leverage episode
Absolutely.
so they can find the cookies. I'll take it.
May I please see your briefcase?
We are protagonists, not heroes, in a space setting. What else do you expect from us?
I didn't make you all ostensibly criminals just to watch you fight monsters.
No. Wait, have all of us seen Leverage?
I've
'Cause I've
seen
seen-
some of it.
I've seen some.
I have
I've
not
seen like the
finished
first
it yet, and I keep
first, like, 10 episodes or
forgetting that
something.
it's a thing that I want to watch.
Oh, as it happens, we also want to watch more Leverage, so we should talk. But
Petruchio, may I see your suitcase, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'll take the case and I'll go sniff, 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 sniff.
No, Fadir. They made oatmeal crack cookies from Granny Flax, one of the great hackers of her era, and then he lost them
It's true.
because
Or they
he
were stolen.
rolled a
I'm not
one.
sure which.
What do I smell in the case?
Yeah, you smell the oatmeal cookies, and you smell, oil and wire and ozone and metal and plastic and
Anybody?
just
Any?
Petruchio. So death. You smell undead
Yeah,
because your boss is undead,
and fucking goblin fruit because this is Eden City.
and yeah, everything smells like goblin fruit. Yeah, you don't. It doesn't smell like anyone's been in this suitcase.
Fair enough. I'll hand it back to him. I
Do
have
it
it
out.
now.
As he goes,
Oh,
Swear it
"Yes."
wasn't a. I swear it wasn't an abyssal goose.
And I definitely
nothing.
had the cookies when I believe I handed out at least one cookie before I got to the expo hall, yes? Which means that at least I had the cookies when I came in. I didn't leave them at home.
Did you share any with? Oh, that's right, because you also managed to roll to have a contact at the ship.
Yes, who I definitely
Isaac.
shared a cookie with.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, thanks. It's giving me food. That's not suspicious. Yum.
Vampire handing out food. That's definitely enemy.
I think I might have been carrying some cookies too, because I helped make them.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
Dune's cooking tends towards meat on a stick.
And various forms of stew. Highly nutritious, but mostly edible.
As long as you don't think too hard about what's inside.
Squirrels are good eating. Just ask Arcane the Sage.
Yes, I will note, given that this is a pre-gen, that our GM has carefully not optimized my character, as the person who relies on Dominate as their only vampire discipline doesn't have any expression.
Wait a minute. Oh, darn it. What? Oh, well, Entombed Command requires subterfuge, and you have plenty of that, so suck it up. Also, I basically haven't yet optimized all your character sheets to fit in better with this version, because I started out as characters for a module when this was going to be 4 to 6 episodes. But then it's like,
Yep.
no, but this is fun. Can it be more episodes? I compulsively world build.
Honestly, I look forward to playing Klaus every week.
I can at least write fun backgrounds. I'm not the best mathematician when it comes to character sheets. Anyway, so y'all meet, you commiserate about lost cookies, and now the Chiron mini mall booth looms in the distance.
So, we're looking to see if they're trying to sell synthetic humanoids in Eden City.
Okay.
Or on Eden system. It
Okay.
shouldn't
Well, I
be-
know that they're certainly not openly doing that. Now, if they have any other plans, or they're planning to work around the rules with, say, humanoids who they claim are free but aren't particularly free-willed, I don't know.
Corporations are a bunch of slimy bastards, and when it profits them, they will always try and work around the rules. Slavery is not allowed in the system, and I don't see any reason why they should be allowed to get away with it, even if it is by any other name.
Okay. Do you
I mean-
go to the booth?
Yeah, I think we go with the booth.
Yeah.
Are we going together, or are we going apparently separate?
I would rather together.
Okay.
If I get cornered alone, it could be bad.
Okay, it is 2 minutes to 8:30, which is when we usually take our break. So, do we want to break now?
I'd be fine with that.
I have no problem with just being in this plot forever. because
Uh-huh.
con
Oh.
season was canceled, and I am sad.
Do remember that I actually have a talk to give later, so we need to not break anything or set anything on fire or anything
Oh, I
else
have
that got
no
us banned
intention
from
of
the con.
picking fights this instant.
Any fight picking will happen later, and I need with the help of my cousins, so don't worry about that.
Okay. So, thank you, chat. Stick around. I have set a timer for 10 minutes. And unless, do we need a full 10-minute break, or do you want a 5-minute break? Because I could do either.
I would like the 10-minute break because I would like to not leave my laundry sitting until I want to go to bed.
That's fair. All right. So, chat, thanks for, just stick around 10 minutes. I have it on a timer, and we will be back in 10 minutes. If it takes a bit longer, I'll just answer some questions while we're waiting, and it'll be fine. So, alright. See you in a few minutes, chat. Sound on. Okay. Hi, chat, we're back. We are all something and ready to game some more. So, resetting the timer so I don't forget to end the game. Because I'm sure that's gonna happen sometimes. Okay. So, yep. Let's refrain for a moment. That sound went down again. Can you hear me now? Chat.
We should be good.
Chat.
Emphasis on should.
Never-ending story theme.
I honestly don't remember what that sounds like. Like, I know it exists, but
I
also
think I read the book first.
Well, I know the theme. I just don't know why we're referencing it, and explaining the joke would make it not funny. So don't even worry about it. Okay. So, yeah, y'all go to y'all heading for the
Chiron booth.
words.
Mega Mart.
Chiron. Yeah, the Mega Mart.
Big shiny plot hook.
Big shiny plot hook.
One of several plot hooks.
As,
Oh, keep an eye out for this video game. It looks a little interesting. It seems to be taking things over. I'm a little curious about it, but it's not our mission. But
well, I mean, it kind of is your mission because you said you told Granny. Yeah. Look at
oh, that's
you.
true. It is an interesting thing, and therefore it is worth checking out because Granny would want to check it out.
Granny said
Some
so.
interesting things. I received a card from a vampire in the dealer's hall. Miss, and I pull it out. What's the name?
Very shady shit.
Sugar, you don't even need to roll. This is a vampire-run bordello. They are very libertine, and the people they are willing to service so long as you're willing to pay. And they're definitely Circle of the Crone, which I know also has weird fancy space name, but I forget it, so we're just going Circle of the Crone. So they're goddess-worshipping vampire sex cult runs a bordello. On the upside, the bordello is pretty legit. Like, they're not really that shady. Like, I mean, vampires generally do religion to feed, and they're not really shy about that, but they're not really sneaky beyond that.
So they do feed on their patrons but beyond that, they give service for value.
Yeah. I mean, also, the bite is pleasurable in many
Mhm.
cases, so that's sometimes some of the service. Like, fang bangers are a thing here in a world where there is no veil.
Yep.
So they're like, huh. So, I mean, they are very upscale, and it looks like one of their workers, and sex work is also legal in this system, legal and part of the entertainers union, because it should be. So it's like, huh, Dune just got the digits of an upscale lady of the evening. You don't recognize the lady's name offhand, but you recognize House of Bast.
Keep hold on to that. It could be useful.
I wasn't exactly planning on throwing it away. I
Oh well.
simply thought you might know the lady.
I'm not personally acquainted. I'm aware of the general reputation. They generally give service for value. They don't send people home with post hypnotic commands to either come back or do something else. Do expect that supplying bud is part of the service unless you negotiate out away from it. Beyond that, as long as you can afford it.
I was not planning on going. I
Oh
simply
well.
saw one of their members engaging in what I thought was activity that might get them ejected from the con, and I tried to warn them as such. They gave me their card.
What were they doing?
Cheating an antiques vendor out of a small book called The Three Little Wolves.
Called the three what?
Little Wolves, if I remember correctly.
What? They didn't pay them?
They underpaid by a considerable amount.
You didn't actually hear the exact totals, but you know what haggling looks like.
Negotiations were not going well, and then suddenly they very much were. And I know magic when I see it, though I don't use it myself.
Well. What are the laws regarding using vampiric powers on people? Is it a don't get caught, or is
Yes,
it
Rule 0, thou shalt not get caught.
Well, yes.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
I mean, it depends on how illegal. Is it just a fine? We can pay fines.
I mean, different, the Circle of the Crone, I mean, the Carthians would be very much like, but humans are our friends. We can lead, we have special skills to lead them, but we're not above them. Whereas you're an Invictus. It's like, no, we're above them.
Oh yeah,
That's
totally.
why we're what we are. We're above them. And then there's Circle of the Crone. That's like, yay, party! Especially the House of Bast.
Yep.
Actually, you've heard them in particular because you're not sure of the details, but this group has a lot of dealing specifically with the Invictus. And you're like, all right, because, they fancy.
Sure.
So, you've heard their house is very fancy and pretty, but because #vampire life. Or no, they're definitely Deva. You know that much. Which are basically in COD, they're basically the Bruja and the Toreador smushed together.
Okay.
Given the Toreador lifestyle, but the Bruja disciplines. Just fucking annoying. Not that it's
I should look that up after the stream.
Experience or anything. They took away my auspics. Anyway.
Oh no.
Sorry, game. This game happening now.
Wait, they took away Auspex from Toreador, or they took away Auspex from...
They took away the Toreador's Auspex and gave them the Bruja disciplines instead.
Ah, right. Which... So
Anywho,
this game, we were going to, 1, triangulate my cookies, and 2, investigate the Chiron.
So it's easy to see the Chiron booth because
It's got Chiron written on it in 7-foot high neon letters.
Oh yeah, it's effectively. I don't know if the rest of you
I
know.
think you're underestimating the
uh,
size of the letters.
You know the Apple Store on Fifth Avenue where it's just like a big glass cube. Josh.
Oh yeah, I know.
Here. So effectively, it's probably plexiglass, but it's effectively a big glass cube with like black kind of detailing that are girders and floors, you think, and structural like sound things.
Oh, like
How
the
did they
Thoreau.
solve the stairway problem?
There are stairs. Those are also in black, some kind of black material.
Oh, okay. So, and the floors are also black materials, so you don't have the look up. You can see everything.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not making that mistake again.
So,
But because of the way
Thoreau Museum.
lighting and kind of mirrored surfaces are, you still get that sense of a see-through cube. With, the Chiron logo emblazoned on it in 7-foot high neon letters. Or rather, they're black with this kind of purple, ultraviolet neon. So it's nice and creepy looking. Just a little bit of creepy.
Right, but it's basically the Thoreau Museum.
I don't know what that is. I will check
Dallas. The big glass box in Dallas.
I will look up that monstrosity after stream. Anywho, and yeah, it's just there's an attendee, there's some kind of just hawker outside, like passing out flyers that are just coupons for 10% off your purchase if you buy during the convention. And you see more staff and customers kind of, all over the insides.
Right.
And he just like nods and smiles and hands out slips of paper, if any of you take them.
I'll take one. But I'll put it in an outside pocket.
I'll take one and give it a glance before putting it before putting it in the trash, but I will look at it briefly.
Yeah, it's just.
I will also take one and look at it.
It's a bit tone deaf because it is like 10% off your purchase, but the things like Petruchio would know more than the others. The things you're about to see in this they don't sell to the common person that needs a 10% discount.
10% discount on a purchase from this place would be next to nothing.
No.
Well, it would be quite a lot of money, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but in the overall
Buy
percentage,
an extra planet with that 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the law of large numbers says that 10% of if you're making $750,000 purchase, 10% is quite a lot of money, but against what you're already spending, it's not a lot. No.
But yeah, so the first floor is kind of just Chiron Corp and what they're doing on the Verge, and like these are our terraforming packages and technologies, and make a hunk of rock in space actually farmable, and things we're doing with mining, mining technology and safety. Actually, no, there's updated safety regulations. That's the first floor.
Right. I'll take a leisurely, jaunt around, kind of walking, hands behind the back.
Yeah, there are staff that are around, in wearing kind of nicely, like the person out front was just a kid in a polo shirt like at Best Buy. The people in here are like they're wearing skirt suits and pantsuits, and they're mostly just nodding and friendly and talking to people. It really does feel more like you're at like Liberty Science Center or a museum that's like, the world of tomorrow, and not a lot of people are really shopping because it's more like, look at our exquisite technologies because we can.
Sure. I'm going to talk to people for a bit and see if I can get a sense of who are the people who are actually making real deals as opposed to the people who are being the the
guys.
show of tomorrow.
All right. Petruchio, roll me. I dare. Well, they're the same stat for you, or the same number of dots. So manipulation and. Do you think would this be more of a subterfuge? I know this would be more of a persuasion thing.
Or politics, depending of getting a sense of the political structure of the group. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, both of those are 3. So,
Yep.
are you going more persuasion or more politics with your manipulation?
I'm going more politics because I'm more trying to get a sense of who do I need to get to if I want to have a single handle on the group. So that's going to be presence is 4, so that's 7, 12.
Okay, so you're looking to figure out how to put all of these megacorp minions under your sway?
I'm looking to, well, specifically what I'm trying to do is I want to get this is an information gathering mission. Specifically, we want to gather information about what Chiron's doing, both regarding the Laos models and regarding synths in general. And therefore, what we want to do is get somebody who has access that they can say stick a physical hack somewhere. If I don't know, they happen to be working for me for some reason, and no one's going to question or bother them about this.
At least they won't question about them for long enough for us to get the information.
Yep.
So on this floor, you talk to a very nice young man. They're like, well, we are open to dealings with various governments, and we like to show the common people what is available in technological advances that they might want to get in on from their own perspective. We're not expecting to do very much direct business here, but further upstairs there are other sales associates. Depending on what you're looking to purchase or purchase for, are you the intermediary for someone else, or?
I'm trying to put something together. It's speculative at the moment, but it really needs someone of appropriate level to be able to have any chance of working at all. I assure you the numbers are such that someone will be interested.
So, unfortunately, the MOOC rolled really well. So they kind of get a sense of, because nobody, it's very rare that someone who does financial dealings with a megacorp actually goes to their booth at the expo in person.
Uh-huh.
Even though you could very well be Petruchio's body double, we don't know. So it's like,
Doesn't matter. As far as we're concerned, you are Petruchio.
Because dominate.
Oh, you don't even need to do that. We just,
No, it's true.
You're the person who says they're Petruchio. That makes you Petruchio.
Is anybody going to notice if I happen to mesmerize this person? I'm just curious. Is anyone staring, watching us?
No, it's just basically he's saying, well, if your organization would like to order something of this ilk from Chiron Corp, and he basically hands you a business card of, we don't have a huge presence in Eden system, but in the next system over, this is our basically the closest we have to a central HQ.
So
and you can call them and make an appointment. We happily will work with companies in Eden system. Unfortunately, we have not been at this point able to kind of invest our own corporate presence in the system.
So a couple of questions. One, does it seem like this guy has the access we need, or I would really need someone bigger if I wanted to actually insert something?
Give me wits politics.
Yeah. Which
Vote the
is
Blood
that?
Party. Actually, Fadier, the mayor of Eden City, is a vampire. They're delightful. And the
They have a
Uh,
Nosferatu.
ridiculous
sure.
name that I don't remember.
Black
Um,
Serendipity Collins the Third.
That's
that's
it.
16.
Got a 16? Alright,
3 successes.
yep. This guy, you get a sense that he knows more than he's telling you.
Yeah, I was getting that sense for your roleplay. So,
So he may have more of the info you're looking for, but it doesn't look like you don't see an earpiece. You don't see like that they're like you don't see anything super sneaky going on. So
right.
he doesn't seem all
Um,
that concerned about you as a person of interest. I mean, they have nothing to steal here, as far as they're aware.
No, they don't. The only things they have are information, and
but
even
he
that may
did-
not be that much.
He did mention something about there's more to see further up the stairs. If there's more you're interested in or your company before you want to call our local HQ or our local adjacent HQ. So you get a sense of if you want to hack this person, you might have you could still probably use dominate, but like he's already wise to is like someone's trying to manipulate me, and I am a
Not
very good
dominate.
salesperson, but he might not expect a vampire to try and dominate him in an expanse system. So
He might not.
I mean, this
Um,
is pretty.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm sniffing for middle management.
Yes.
okay, they don't really have a smell. I'm sorry. Chiron is
mean-
not Supernat, so it doesn't really work that way.
The only way in which they smell strange is that they don't smell like goblin fruit.
Well, basically none of the people in pants suits and skirt suits smell like goblin fruit.
Hence why that's the only way in which they smell strange.
Yeah.
These are definitely tourists.
I was actually looking for expensive cologne.
Okay, here you get about mid-range cologne, but there are other levels.
Right.
And
I'll
this
leave.
is definitely the most trafficked floor.
So
Goblin
I'll head
toot.
up a floor and see what I can get up
Okay.
there.
I will follow Dune.
Next level up, you get advances in medicine and things that they're doing with plugins and the way they integrate these new plugins into the human nervous system. And it's again that kind of World of Tomorrow display, and there are still people in skirts and pantsuits. You don't really smell. You still smell mid-range cologne and perfume. Everyone's
What
very
kind
friendly.
of plugins are they advertising here? Like, for what functions, sort of?
Here you see a correction of physical ailments, and easement for persons with disabilities, which isn't really a new thing, but it's like cybernetic replacement limbs, cybernetic.
So it's
eyes.
all like,
Automail.
yeah, bringing back quality of life rather than enhancing what's already there.
Yeah, it's definitely a quality of life, like new internal, basically the equivalent of insulin pumps, but like
I feel
for the
like I
future.
phrased that very poorly, but my brain is not working.
So definitely definitely better advancements in daily life medicine, and new scanning equipment, new medical analysis equivalents, new chips that they put into a person, and then it can just basically do an MRI or a CAT scan with the push of an external button. New kinds of materials for skin grafts, for bone grafts,
Right.
nervous system recalibration and regrowth.
But no mention of how they would implement it for synthetic purposes, and or anything about that in this area.
No, this seems they don't seem to mention synthetic humans.
All right, and I
I'm
was
getting the feeling
There's-
from this selection that
Maybe there's a display that's like, we work with hospitals and lots of systems. Yay!
and I only smell mid-range cologne.
Yeah, mid-range clone.
Okay, then I'll go up another flight. There's another flight to go up.
Yep, there's one more. So yeah, it's so on this floor, give me wits investigation, I guess.
Okay. There. Zipped. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I don't really know what this is. Okay. So that is 9 plus 6 is 15 for 3 successes.
Awesome. Yes, there is a young man, maybe a middle-aged man. His dark hair has some gray at the temples. And he's definitely wearing a better cologne than some of the other folks. And while there are also, like meet and greet Best Buy types on this floor, he's kind of like a bit apart from them, and there's kind of a little alcove next to another stairwell that's roped off and it says employees only. This floor is about... It's an interesting mix of shipbuilding technology and more plugins, but these plugins seem more about enhancement of human abilities.
Right, the kind that I have.
And since you rolled such a good wits investigation, there is, a kind of smaller kiosk kind of in the corner. There's, big models of spaceships, and holographic models of spaceships, and bisections of them, and it's really cool, and you definitely get a sense of, would you like to buy 50 of these? So, like, they don't make these individually, they make them in fleets. And human enhancement for people, and they don't really question why would you want someone who couldn't, run 60 miles an hour?
I will,
And definitely you get some of the plugins are like, empathic enhancements and heightened senses and how do I put this? Non-localized person reading skills. It's like, enhance your, it's, telepathy.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way of saying maybe telepathy
reading.
or mind reading of some kind. But yeah, this is definitely where it's getting creepy into the, Chiron is said to maybe be trying to copy supernatural powers with technology. Maybe they're succeeding? They don't really have any display models for show, as far as you can tell.
I will,
And there is one little kiosk in the corner about, how we make humanity better.
I will
And
casually,
definitely different lines of human beings.
I will casually text Petruchio, 3rd floor, and head over to look at the kiosk
Okay,
more closely.
it's easy enough. And it basically, is a catalog of of synthetic human beings of various lines and uses, whether tactical, personal security, medical service, sex work. It, all there. One thing it does say is like, and when it gets to the price, it says, unfortunately, it says, this model not sold in Eden system. Please contact and it mentions the HQ and basically the next closest system to you. Please contact our HQ, our representative at HQ and blah 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 system. So it's kind of like when you're buying something online and you go to look at the price, it's like this not offered online. If you go to Michael's and you're looking for that kind of embroidery thread you want, they're like, this not sold on the website, but we have it here on the website, but we don't sell it on the website. You kind of just basically everywhere where it would say price, it just has that kind of error message.
Available only in stores.
Low-key hate that we're comparing human people that Chiron is selling to embroidery thread.
Sorry, it was the first thing I thought of. I'm sorry.
No, it gets the vibe of what Chiron's about here.
Yes, it
That-
does.
Synths are a commodity, a tool, nothing more.
And
I will fight them.
And they have designed these, new humans for a variety of tasks, from industry to mining to medical and even psychological. And
Well, wouldn't you prefer having your shrink be somebody who can never tell someone your secrets?
I mean, a synth can definitely tell people their secrets. They can definitely tell the corporate your secret.
Well, yes. But not if they're programmed not to.
So yeah, that's what you got on this floor.
I will wait for Patukia to come up.
Sure.
Okay. And
I will leave alone my current mark since they were wary of me anyway.
Okay. When I see Petruchio reach the top of the stairs here, I will immediately start going downstairs, but on the way I'll bump him so that he ends up looking at the guy who I smelled the high price cologne on.
Okay. If Petruchio relents to this, I will not make you roll. But Petruchio, you know your staff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Petruchio will give Dune a quick nod and continue.
Middle-aged gentleman, average height, dark, slicked back hair with product and sort of graying at the temples.
I think I'm going to just try to float around elsewhere in this room and listen in without looking like I'm listening in.
Oh, the LAU model is definitely not in the catalog anymore.
Yeah.
Who knows why?
It was a recall.
Must have been a reason.
So are there other people getting a tour on this floor or what?
No, I mean it's definitely like the least trafficked floor, but mostly because the first level has 2 doors and people just kind of go through and oh, that's cool. I can't buy anything here and just keep walking. And so there's some on the second floor and then very little traffic on just because of the way people are lazy. And there are actual stairs here, not an elevator. Which is kind of annoying because it makes it very non-accessible. So the irony that all of the, individual person improvement stuff is on the second floor, which you need to go upstairs to get to, and it's but
that's so bad.
no one ever accused Megacorps of not being tone deaf. So,
and they could have installed an anti-grav elevator, but that would have cost money.
They could have also left the sides of their booth open so that those with jetpacks and such could just fly up, but no.
Nope.
Clearly, these are the bad guys. In the world of darkness, they did not install a ramp.
Oh, quick question. How does willpower work in this version of the system?
What am I saying? You spend a willpower, you add a +3. Did I say automatic success or a +3? I think I said +3. Whatever.
And are ones an automatic? Is a 1 on your die roll an automatic failure? Or only if you fail?
That's the only botch. So basically, if you're so chat, you'll find this fun too. So basically, the success states go 8, 11, 14, 17, 20, and then upwards of multiples of 3 or additions of 3. So in a lot of cases, if your starting pool is an 8, you basically start with an automatic success. So just don't roll a 1. So yeah. And once in a while, I'll say like, okay, you can do this, but it'll require X number of successes, and you can add background points where appropriate, like for additional +1s. Because I still haven't actually streamlined this system back to MET, so a lot of these merits I built for second ed COD don't directly translate because I'm stupid and my life keeps exploding.
You're not dumb. It's just the way it is, you know?
Yeah. It is not yet a perfect conversion. I will get there soon. Because at least it's... My non-streaming game is Changeling the Dreaming, which we're still running on Changeling 95.
Mostly.
And C20 is a really big book, guys.
For some reason, my brain equates Changeling 95 with Windows 95, and I'm just like...
If you saw the computer skill is written in 1995, that would be totally... You'd find it very appropriate.
I have no concept.
You weren't born.
Oh, I can't even. The computer skill, to be fair, is very true to life for specifically Chrysalia, because one of their examples of the computer skill in Changeling 95 is somebody, I think, actually spills water on their computer and is trying to desperately get data off their computer before all of the data is wiped. It just for some reason doesn't occur to them that the first thing you would do is turn your computer off. But
also, it's actually Chrysala.
Chrysala, thank you. This is why I just say Chris. It's just easier.
That's fine. Chris is fine. I don't really mind people mispronouncing this because that's not my real name. If you ever find out my real name, you better spell it correctly or I'll punch you. Because childhood... Basically, my parents thought they were doing me a favor by spelling my name phonetically.
Oh no.
And no. Especially where Chris-based names are concerned, no. Anyway, my real name is not Chrysala. So you're in the Apple store of the enemy.
Yep.
What do you do?
So I want to strike up a conversation with the apparent likely exec. Mostly this is a pretext to dominate him.
Okay.
But
he is very minimal. It's like, hello, I forget, Petruchio is male presenting or?
Today I think Petruchio is male presenting.
Okay. Hello, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just interested in. It doesn't seem you have all of these not for sale signs. It doesn't seem like you're able to do much business in the system. Are you just trying to, drum up, buzz in case things change, or?
Well, buzz. What's that charming phrase? There's no such thing as bad publicity. But yes, we don't do a lot of business in Eden's system, mostly because we've been unable to establish a corporate headquarters here. But we're still welcome to show that we do exist in the galaxy, and this convention brings people from all over the galaxy.
It does indeed.
We might find a willing investor or a willing future employee.
Well.
And, Chiron likes to give back to humanity as we improve humanity.
Oh, of course.
So we want humanity to know what we can do for them if they should need our help.
And as it happens, I have some access to. Is the issue applying here simply getting permission to establish a headquarters, or people on the ground?
Well, it's I mean, there aren't any megacorps with true corporate headquarters here. Chiron itself has a few, small technology stores for repair of things in the city, like out of the equivalent of a phone store.
Albert
Yep.
Malls.
The Apple
So,
Store
Well,
of the
Apple
enemy.
Store. So because people sometimes need specialized work on plugins or software they might have bought from our company. So we have a few locations like that, but we haven't really been able to establish a full corporate headquarters from which we can really help Eden's system in mining and personnel and medical advancements. There are systems where we establish our own hospitals, where we establish our own schools and training centers.
Oh, I
It's
understand
very
that,
portable, especially in the
people,
expanse.
that the authorities here can be very unreasonable, I say.
They are a little. I mean, they are a little strict here. It's not gonna lie, it's a little strange, but Eden is a very special place, I'm told.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We're very friendly. I'm going to roll. I'm going to see if I can establish, put him in a mesmeric state.
Okay.
I will spend a willpower on that. So that's a starting 10. 15.
3 successes.
He
Oh,
rolled a
boy.
16. Oh wait, what is the defense for?
Defense should be willpower plus blood potency, or or resolve plus blood potency rather.
Or resolve composure if they don't have a. Well, he's not a vampire. You just see he's not a vampire.
Clearly not a vampire.
I'd have smelled it if he was.
Okay. Versus victims resolve plus power stat.
Yep.
Okay, so this guy, humans, I don't believe get a power stat. Yeah, because Dune doesn't have one, therefore this guy doesn't get one.
Nope.
We hope.
Oh boy.
I mean, Chiron is clearly looking to build supernaturals out of technology. You never know. They'd be excellent salespersons. Okay, so
If you could ever get a single supernat to support such a group.
Okay, so this guy, I'm gonna say he spends willpower because I can.
Yep.
He rolls a 15.
So that's a tie. I don't know how ties work.
I generally go by LARP rules, which is tie goes to the defender.
Yep.
So you tried to mesmerize him. Oh wait, you just tried to mesmerize him?
I was just trying to mesmerize him.
Oh, derp. Okay, so all right, so we'll say that
you have to do mesmerize
him.
first.
You have to mesmerize first. I'm sorry, I am a bad GM today. So all right, so we'll just say that this 15 is if you try anything more later. But yeah, so he's definitely mesmerized. He's like, because there's technically no defense against it, but that also means it's not the strongest thing. So what are you? So you have him mesmerized. He's just kind of like staring at you and has gone slightly googly-eyed because he has been mesmerized.
Sure. Let me actually look at the rules for mesmerizing. I believe I can do one thing without having to go, without having to bring him to a deeper level. Expression plus dominance. Oh, I can see there's no roll. Requires eye contact. I definitely had eye contact. That wasn't a problem.
Oh no, there is. It's resolve plus B. Okay, I'm sorry.
It is.
So,
He gets defense.
So he gets a defense. So it ties, and ties go to the defender.
Yep. So my eyes are magnetic, and however, he was able to resist the pull.
Yeah. So he's definitely, you get a sense that he can read your magnetism, but he is not mesmerized.
Yep.
I need to write better sheets. We all know this. I'm one of those annoying story GMs who's like,
Failure, vampire's victim proves stronger willed than they thought. Yep.
Well, I mean, this is why he's the management guy.
Uh-huh.
This is the head mook.
I mean, you asked for the guy who would, get you in. And
Who have all the access. You found the guy that has all the access.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he also
Or at
has a
least
strong
really get
will,
along.
and I am not optimized. I mean,
Sorry.
it's okay. I'm just amused.
Or at least I found the guy with the really nice cologne taste. Because I figured
It just seems like someone on your level it'd be a waste of time to send you to a planet like this with such hostile, leadership.
Oh well, like you said, you never know when the winds of change are going to come through a system, and there are plenty of. I mean, to speak frankly, there are plenty of people here with deep pockets. Who may not get a chance to view our wares otherwise if they don't travel out of the system very often. So, it's I think it's, like I said, it's good to show humanity what we can do for them if they would just let us.
Because that's not honest at all.
You're lucky I didn't give this guy true faith, because that is an option with Megacorps.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's a second ed thing, but we're running on first ed, second ed mashup, so why the fuck
We're
not?
running in your game. You can do what you want.
You can, yeah, absolutely.
Drunk on power! Anyway, so this guy's like really affable. He does so do you represent a company or person of interest in this system who would be interested in contracting some work or product from us?
Well, we're certainly curious. We have we're based in Idun, but we do have interests. But it's not throughout the system. In various parts of the Expanse, which is not inaccurate.
My most superior is definitely a high-ranking person in this city. That's true. But I'm saying that out of character because I'm not there. I went downstairs.
Is there anything you can show me beyond, the press out here?
Well,
I think as he's contemplating this, I'm going to take my leave of the third floor for risk of seeming weird for lingering too long.
Good plan.
I mean, there's plenty of weirdos at this con.
But I don't want to stand out as the weirdo in this place in particular.
Because that sounds like a bad idea.
Well, Petruchio's definitely taking up all of this guy's attention, so...
Yeah. Certainly, if you want to do something that he doesn't notice, I am taking his attention.
I can put you in direct... are you looking into shipbuilding, or staffing, or physical enhancement?
Oh, we're definitely most interested in staffing at the moment.
Oh, okay, then, well, there are certain things we are not permitted to do in Eden system, due to their, base of laws. So
quite.
I can put you directly. I could give you the contact information for the person at HQ in Blah System, because Chris forgot that part. She is the head of our cybernetics and synthetics division in that system, and you know what? I'm just gonna say it's Strugnoi Station.
That has the sound of sense. Didn't we go to Strugnoi for something? We got there?
Yes, it is. There aren't any habitable planets there anymore. It's basically Strugnoi Station is effectively a space station built around one of the Stygian gates.
And we can play it as
we've
allies.
been through there.
But for the future, I'm going to note that had I been on the ball, I would have pointed out that this was all part of a long, complicated hack, and I should therefore be able to add +1 for my specialty.
Okay. If you want to do anything else, so stroke nice. It's Boston. Anyway, so Strognoi Station is the. It's a little. So Stygian gates don't just go gate to gate. You sometimes have to bounce between a few because physics, and we don't actually know how Stygian gates work yet. Just that they feel like death magic.
And we didn't build them, so we can't make more of them.
We didn't build them, but we're using them, so it must be fine. Same as Starnet.
Is a little old place where we can get together.
Never mind that Starnet woke up during the Thurazaz War. Oh no, that's fine, I'm sure. Strognoi Station, yeah, so, I know the Stygian gates work a little weirdly, but, as a space crow flies, so to speak, our closest headquarters are on Strognoi Station, and I can put you in contact with our contact there for cybernetics and synthetics. And he just sort of, pulls like, it looks kind of like a cross between a wallet and like a day planner, and kind of pulls out a paper business card.
Quaint.
Sure. Actually, do I have the skills for that? I do not. I do not have larceny. That's very annoying.
Well, he's handing it to you. Well, I mean,
no, I don't have the skills to slip something on him. At least as far as I can tell, I don't.
Collar criminal.
If you wanted something slipped on him, you should have let me know before I walked away.
It was a backup plan. It wasn't my main plan. My main plan was to hypnotize him. It didn't work.
Can't you dominate?
For future reference, I have
I tried. It
in
failed.
larceny.
No. Is mesmerize the same thing as dominate?
Yeah, mesmerize is the first level of dominate.
Yeah, dominate is the group of spells. Mesmerize is level 1. Because
you need to mesmerize to do anything else.
Yeah.
Fortunately, mesmerize is also hella subtle, unless you roll a 1.
Yeah, which you didn't. So he didn't notice that you're dazzling him. He's just like, wow, this is a very magnetic person. I would like to help you some more.
So yes, I will take his card. I do not have an easy ability to do that, although I can up. And I will make my departure.
Okay, may I inquire as to the name of your organization or those who you represent, that I can give her a heads up?
Sure. I'm going to give him a cutout. I presumably have shell corporations I can use for this purpose.
I'll allow it.
Don't leave back. Yeah.
What do you call this shell corporation, though?
Shell.
After what you hear is an ancient world something corporation,
Well, whatever the Romans called seashells. I feel like I knew the word at one point, but I don't know.
Chat, research, what's Latin for seashell?
Or I could just get my Latin dictionary.
Yeah. Never mind, we have a college student in the game.
You have someone actively studying Latin and absolutely dying while doing it.
We're dying inside. Okay, so shell company. So yeah, no one bats an eye.
So Testa. We call it Testa.
Testa? Okay.
For Chuck Testa.
That looks right.
Arcane the Sage says coquina, but I don't know what that means. I'm assuming he followed my instructions.
Pretty sure that's shell. That looks right.
So but do you want Testa or coquina?
What is I don't know. What does the rest of the game want? I'm good with either.
I'm a fan of the Latin reference.
They're both Latin references, honestly.
I mean,
but...
you are Invictus. Put that in my Luddite notes. It's like, all right, thank you very much for your interest. Be in contact with our head of cybernetics and synthetics, who is is her name? Marianne Appleton. That sounds nice and bland. And so yeah, you have a business card, and
A business card. Yep.
It includes an email address. Phone calls between systems is not a thing that is easy to do. So generally, StarNet goes basically through the jump gates, and will just fire packets of data whenever it's open. So generally, email is a better bet. So most people, so there's a phone number on, basically the phone number site specifically in Strognoy system, but it also is just, email address.
Right.
Oh, borrowed from Spanish coquina for cockle, from Latin concha, and Greek letters.
Kunke.
I
Kunke.
And
almost
concilium.
think that conca comes in from Greek because there's an H right after that C.
Yeah, that makes more
The
sense.
actual expert who is still in school.
You pronounce every single letter in Latin unless it's borrowed from Greek, and then you might drop one of the letters out from the pronunciation.
So the complete opposite of Gaelic.
So Googling showed concilium, which sounds good.
Also, I've found coquina means of cooked and baked food. It's an adjective describing cooked or baked food.
Oh, concilium or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to call it Concilium Shell Company? It's a good thing I'm writing in pencil.
Concilium, I think.
Okay.
Like a conch, but with a very Latin ending.
But a concha is a clam, oyster, or mussel.
Yep. Or color purple, apparently.
It's the purple dye that you make out of oysters.
Yeah.
Alright.
Purpura is a more common purple word.
Alright, so y'all have attempted to bamboozle the Chiron group.
Into
And we have a contact we could use to bamboozle them further, but we have something run into a wall unless somebody wants to literally walk through a wall and put this this hacking tool and plug it directly into their systems, because this guy's not going to do it for us.
Petruchio, I would like you to roll. Let's say intel. Oh, you don't have streetwise. Let's just say roll.
I'm a bad criminal.
Just roll straight intelligence.
Sure. 12.
12. Awesome.
Is hacking relevant?
Sure. So 13.
So +1. So 13.
Still 2 successes. So you do know that there is you didn't take the closest look at it, but this is only the first day of con. And there are all those dark web forums where people are talking about hacking the megacorps while they're here for funsies, to varying forms of, contests and favors and exchange. And some people are just like, you know what, I'm going to extract 1 billion credits from this megacorp to that megacorp and see if they freak out. Weird stuff. You're just like, no, that's stupid. But there were definitely lower level hacks. So there are people working on this that you might be able to hit up later for information.
Oh yeah.
And there is plenty of digital display in this giant cube. So and if there's digital display, then there's digital outlets.
That's true. So I could plug something into there. It's not as direct access. It won't be as easy to go from there to real information.
But are you gonna take a look around for that, or are you just gonna head out for now? And because you've got a panel to get to, and we've only got 20 minutes left.
Yeah. I'm gonna hand Klaus my my tool in case they want to drop it off somewhere. Just plug it into somewhere. The closer to their secure systems, the better. But I have to go to my panel.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Can you do the terrorist thing? Because I have to be at my panel in like 20 minutes.
Yep.
I love my game. This is why I'm here.
I mean, I'll do the terrorist thing just because it's a terrorist thing against Chiron, but
Against your makers who are trying to destroy you.
yeah.
Like you do. So, yeah. Klaus, do you want to do that now, or do you want to... What do you want to do? Because you've got a computers of 3. You might be able to figure out if you roll well enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look around while I'm still in this area.
So
See what I can think of. I'm not gonna immediately make a show of acting on this thing because I don't want to make a move before I know what I'm doing. But
Okay.
yeah, let's see if I can figure something out.
I would say you will need at least 3 successes to see what is a secure network in this thing.
Okay. And
Don't
it'll
forget about
be
willpower.
what? Wits or intelligence?
I dare say this is an intelligence roll. Because you have,
Okay.
I mean, it's basically just a place where people are meant to stand around staring at things. So it's not like you have to do this quickly or that carefully.
Can I do
Placing
something
it
with
will
my
take subtlety, but
origin as a synth to know what their systems look like?
sure, I'll allow a +1 for that. You know their systems. You are their systems.
Yeah, I grew up in this, you know?
Their system is literally implanted in your head.
Okay. Not a bad roll. So
And at least a 14.
I can do basic math.
In Latin.
It will be a 14, exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
I rolled a 7, so +6, and then the +1 for being a synth. That's 14, yeah?
Okay, fine.
Because 6 + 1 is 7, and 7 + 7 is 14.
Yes.
Hey, we can math. I am not the math GM.
Don't mind me
Story
just,
trumps math.
No. I can look at a Latin word and tell you if it comes from Greek, but I cannot do basic math.
Yeah, I've been there. Anyway, what floor are you on when you're doing this?
I'm probably around the 2nd floor. I might be in the stairwell when Patricio finds me, so I will probably go onto the 2nd floor, because if I go back up to the 3rd, that'll look weird.
Okay, so what you've got, so that's the medical technology. So there is a section of wall where there's basically a holographic projection outside of it, where it's sort of like a non-gendered human body. So they're leaving out gender tech, and it's an interesting display where it starts with just sort of a nondescript, almost mannequin-like human body, genderless, and then layers of flesh fade away and different kinds of cybernetic implants are revealed, again, skin grafts, bone grafts, cartilage replacement, eyeballs, and it sort of is kind of like a slow in and out. So, and various things pinpoint this is a skin graft, this is a cranial graft, and so it just sort of fades and then goes all the way down to this, flesh, organs, circulatory system, and down to the skeleton and inside the skeleton, and then it sort of fades back out again.
Creepy, but okay.
But you're a Moros, so it's kind of cool too.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not cool, but
And you had a medical license once, but
I didn't get that revoked for nothing.
Well, you didn't get it revoked. You're sort of.
I know, I gave it up.
You're not necessarily dead. But you're just sort of like, what happened to that guy? That person? What?
I simply don't exist.
They just
That's
stopped
the story of how I lost my medical license.
Anyway, so this is a fairly complicated hologram, and you kind of see the projector for it, and you kind of see that is definitely near kind of a hub of varying information, like thingies, wires and conduits and such. So, and it definitely has, open data ports.
How many people are around and or paying attention to it?
10.
Ha!
There are 10 people on this floor.
So I need some sort of distraction.
I mean, Dune is still technically on the first floor, so.
I'm going to, be looking at this mannequin thing and text Dune and be like, can you make a distraction for me?
Oh god. How loud do
Kicked
you
out of
want
con on the first game. First day. First day. Second game.
Is this actually on the team chat or is this a private chat?
I'll put it on the team chat because you did put me up to this.
I will text back without setting anything on fire or getting us kicked out of the con.
Bad enough. Right.
Your badges do say Carve Tourism Limited, so one of you goes down, y'all go down. Because it's not like anyone could hack new badges.
I mean, like, I can help you fake a medical emergency.
I'm going to look around and see which one of the people in the first floor with me looks like the richest the richest asshole I can find.
Okay, what's investigation?
Right. I'm looking for the biggest douche. 10 for one success.
Okay, you'll be so happy to find that this has survived Earth that was in 6,000 years of human history and development. So there's this tall blonde guy with Greek letters on his jacket.
Oh no!
He's going like, yeah, that's cool. Like, my dad owns a planet on the verge now, and he's gonna use one of those terraforming bombs, and it's like gonna be so cool, yeah.
I'm going to, pretend to be looking at something beside him and walk up and, shoulder check the guy, essentially. Just enough that he has to move. Not enough to knock him over.
He rolls a 1 and falls over. Bruh! What?
What do you think you're doing? Standing in the way like that? And these mutton-headed idiot like you? What do you think you're doing wasting the time here? I'll bet your father doesn't even own an asteroid in the Verge. You're just telling stories, and you're a parasite on... And I'll just go off on this rant. And it is loud and as Welsh as I possibly can. Like, you're definitely...
You're ashamed of the aristocracy?
Yeah. Like, as I keep talking, my accent keeps getting thicker.
This guy is just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, he starts fighting, and he's just like transfixed. He's like, what is even happening? I would say yes. You definitely several sales staff start to, sir, is there a problem? And definitely the people upstairs who are not sales. I would say there are 5 sales. Second floor. I would say there are 3 staff upstairs, and like, so then that's 7, passerby who are like, the passerby are like, hey, something loud is happening downstairs.
Okay.
So they're all looking. I would say everyone's like kind of like looking over that way and not at you.
Okay. I was gonna say, if it doesn't seem like enough, can I do a manipulation socialize roll to give off like the body language like I'm about to leave the room to go look and set off the let's go, rubberneck at this situation.
Oh no, the rubbernecking has already started.
Okay.
Like, there's sales staff and there's nothing to sell. Like, they're bored.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Dune's accent is very wolf country and stuff. You don't hear it much. I mean, if you work in the wolf blood circuit, in the wolf mafia stuff, you hear it a lot. But like these are outworlders. This is not this is a very regional accent that's going on here.
From the planet Wales. Just like Marguerite from Planet France. So you attract a crowd, and Klaus, you will still have to make, I guess, the equivalent of a larceny roll. You will have to make a larceny roll to, like, sneak it into the right data plug. Because people are going to notice if someone's messing with the display while but it's like, everyone's distracted. So, I will say, so Dune, how many successes did you get on your cause a fuss roll? Or no, did you, actually, Dune, roll, presence.
Roll what? Oh.
Presence intimidation, I think, because that's kind of what you're going for.
Okay. Intimidation. I'm good at intimidation, not so good at presence. Alright. So that is a 13, yes.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. So, Klaus, you get a +2 to your larceny roll.
Hell yeah.
Again, I would say aim for 14.
Okay. What attribute was I using?
Get your sheet. Attributes, this would be a dex roll.
Okay.
So this would be dex and larceny.
Bloody hell, it's only a 10.
Can you add dots for knowing the systems?
They already did that for, Actually, you do have 2 dots of your origin, so...
I do.
You could use another +1 from that. You can also spend a willpower for +3.
If I do both of those things, I will make it up to 14.
Okay, so then now you just have to not roll a 1.
Okay.
In the hive of your enemy.
Yeah. Do I roll again, or?
Did you already roll?
Yeah, I rolled a 5, so I was getting up to 14.
14. That was what the willpower plus the extra. So she rolled 3. They rolled 3 successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In future, you need to spend willpower and +1s before you roll. So.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah. So yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, something more entertaining is happening," and you're like, "Keep," and just like, "Hey, yeah, I'll look at the entertaining thing." Unfortunately, so
Dune's about to get himself banned from the Chiron group.
yeah, a couple of the Chirons. I'm sorry, sir. This is rather inappropriate. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
I'm waiting for the buzz. I'm waiting for my community here to buzz for Klaus to tell me to stop doing stuff.
I just said thank and
TY.
As soon as I get the buzz, I'll give the staff a nod, a tip of the hat, like, I would check that man's credentials, but I don't believe my presence here is warranted any longer, and I'll walk out.
Okay, they're all a bit bewildered, but they're also like dude rolled a 1 to not get body checked by, and so clearly he went down like a brat, and they're just like, so they're basically they're kind of like offering him, like spring water and there are snacks around, like like fancy snacks that some people are there more for the snacks. Again, just on the first floor, which is why no one goes up to the higher floors. So they're just offering him like refreshments and a place to sit down and recuperate. And he's like, does he know who my dad is? And it's a whole thing. And yeah. And so now it is
He's
9.
the kid is sniveling like Captain Hammer after he got hit by the fragments of the death
This
of the
is
freeze
what
ray.
pain feels like. Yeah.
At some point, we needed a rescue mission for his dad's planet because it must be terrible.
There are plenty of planets on the verge that are ostensibly elite houses building monarchies. Which makes it even weirder that Eden's system didn't go that way. I mean, same with, Megacorps buying systems and then mining them, and it's basically a system-wide company town where the company is the government. It's a bit cray out on the rim. But yeah, so we've got, it's 9:55. It's about time to end game for the night. But I'll take it to, so Petruchio, are you going right to your panel, or are you going to stop off at the green room, or because it's getting on time? Because
if it's getting on time, I'll show up to the panel. I'm not going to show up to the green room if it's going to make me late.
So
I don't like being late.
So we'll start with you arrive at the panel, and the person at the panel room checks your badge and then sees a blue dot on it. It's like, oh, are you on our panel?
I am indeed.
Oh, okay, then go right ahead. And they motion you right up. And there's a few people, there's people of, most of them are middle to late age because archaeology. One person kind of sticks out to you. They're fairly androgynous, wearing like a tweed jacket over a t-shirt and jeans, and they have very short cropped hair, and they're very slight and delicate looking. Again, roll me. Actually, okay, so let's do this roll again. They do have a bag of oatmeal cookies that is not your bag. I just want to state it. It is a different
Because I did not have
color.
time to locate my bag.
You have not located your bag yet, but this person definitely has a bag of oatmeal cookies that is not yours, so this person did not steal your bag.
Oh.
They're a friend, not an enemy yet, so far, maybe. I don't know. Roll... Again, roll wits and crafts, but you may use your hacking +1.
Sure. So that's a 7 to start, and we're getting close to the end of the session. So I'm going to throw in my contacts hackers dots, which I have 3 of.
Well, you can use one at a time. So
I can use one at a time. So I can use 1, which will get me up to an 8 before the roll.
Yeah. So don't roll a 1 this time.
How about a 10? A 10 is good.
Yeah, you re-roll 10, so you get 10 again. So you're already at an 18.
Yep. So 24.
Okay. So that is 6 successes. So you definitely you see the bag of cookies on this this person looks like barely old enough to be college, like they look like college age maybe, and you can tell right off they're not a vampire. Because that's the kind of thing you point out to a vampire who rolls 6 successes. He's like, that person looks unnaturally young. Well, not unnaturally, but just.
They look like their bearing doesn't match their physical form, but that's not the case here.
They kind of look at you funny, and then they kind of look at your badge, which is out, and they kind of smile at you, and you notice something on like the lapel of their tweed jacket. It's, I would say it's monkey shaped in that way that the pieces in the Barrel Full of Monkeys game, where it's like one of those like hanging kind of monkey shapes. But it looks like it's been laser cut out of a piece of like burnt out circuit board, specifically burnt out circuit board, because you don't do that with good equipment. And it's kind of just like hanging from this young person's lapel pin. And with 6 or 7, you realize you've seen that on other people around. And this something about it feels familiar, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but this This young person smiles warmly at you and like motions you and
I'm
to the
sorry, I'm late.
and they offer like I don't know if you partake, but would you like one too? This person might have just clocked you as a vampire, but that happens.
They might. Thanks. I'll take a sniff, but I'm not really hungry right now.
Are you also a friend of Ms. Flax?
I am
they
indeed.
say very quietly. Cool.
I am
Well,
indeed.
We'll talk after panel. And your panel begins, and that is the end of our game for today. So we'll pick up with what? Sorry, dice. We'll
On the 7th.
with Petruchio's on the archaeology track, because in a world where the ancient colonial fleet is 6,000 years old, like yes, computer archaeology is a thing.
Petruchio's Peculiar Panel.
It's called From Freaks to Frackers, an exploration of ancient hacking techniques and how their concepts might still be applicable today.
Right, but the name of the episode will be Petruchio's Peculiar Panel.
Okay. So, hey chat. Voodoo Lou Kerensky.
Hi.
Hey, Voodoo. Nice to see you.
Well, yes, litany against fear is always good before your panel starts.
Agreed.
That will definitely inspire confidence.
Arcane posted a link that I will check after outro. So yes, thank you for coming to see our Exit to Eden, A World of Darkness in space, where the Supernats are out and the government hates them, except in this system, which is a nice little Casablanca of freedom and crime. Maybe?
I definitely didn't just commit crimes. Nope, not at all.
I'm totally not about to commit crimes.
Be magic, do crime!
I'm going to commit so many crimes when I start fomenting anti-Chiron sentiment among my cousins.
Oh, basically your cousins are very into freedom, not slavery, so Chiron and all the megacorps are just kind of like, no. Anywho, so yes, this is our weird system. This is our this setting was developed by Mind's Eye, or no, we'll say MES because I forgot what they call themselves now. Space, the Infinite Edge, and it's a world, far-flung future world of space opera and cyberpunk and Firefly and all of the genres, and we will explore all of them. But right now, we're at a convention because I need this. Hashtag extrovert problems. But I think my players are okay with it because we've all missed con season, although Josh is also technically at a con right now.
That's correct.
It happens. So thank you all for watching us. Voodoo, Lou Kerensky. Late, yeah, that's fine. There'll be a VOD up in a little bit. You know, it's fine. I know Saturday nights are still busy for people somehow, maybe. And if you like what you've seen and would like to try this yourself, we are looking to expand our cast to more players so that scheduling is a bit easier on everyone. We do this World of Darkness in space, World of Darkness plus sci-fi. There are so many more monsters, and you can see even fewer of them. It's awesome.
I mean, normally adding more people to a group makes scheduling harder, but since we're doing it every week, that actually is not the case.
So yeah, that hashtag stream stuff, I don't know. That's just, streams are weird like that. Yeah, and it's NWoD rather than OWoD. Important distinction. Because acronyms. So many White Wolf acronyms. Anywho, I'm Ms. Chrysela, the GM. You can find me on social media there. Also, there are links to the Magic Fish Radio social medias on our Twitch page, so go look. They're there. Follow us. Find out when we're doing stuff. Because this is our usual campaign. Next week, we are doing a one-shot for Halloween, which is Demon Hunters, a Comedy of Terrors, which is similar to the World of Darkness, only funny on purpose. I will never
Gonna be
stop
great.
saying that. It's gonna be awesome because Merc's running it, not me. I get to play. All I have to do is play and run the stream. But I get to play. And it will be themed on classic monster movie horror, and I believe set in Los Angeles, which is new for me because I set all my games in New York.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
And we'll be playing the monsters.
Again, World of Darkness theme. But oh yeah. So if you just want to stop in for one game, next week is a great game to drop in on. Because right now we one of our players can't make it, so we're down to 2, and we'll do it. But it would be more fun, and there's room for more people. But I know lots of people have munchkins, and Halloween is a munchkin day, so
Pre-gens will be provided for next week if you're interested.
We
You don't
will
have
have-
to make one of your own.
we will have pre-gens for you, and if we can schedule it up, we will run you through Faith Core. If you do not know it already, it is Fate based. It is a mix of Fate and Cortex, and very, very fun. And I will have me, Merc, and Dracus all met running this game for Zombie Orpheus Entertainment. So at various conventions like Gen Con. So we can teach you. I find it easy to pick up. It is somewhere between Powered by the Apocalypse and White Wolf in terms of crunch. So, but you get to use all the polyhedrals and it's fun. So yeah, hi, I'm the GM. Usually, not all the time. And if any of my current players want to ever run stuff, just run it by me a few weeks in advance, and I will set it up and make some overlays, and we'll have some fun, and I won't have to GM for a night. Yeah, so that is me. Josh, Patricio, who have you been this whole time?
So I was playing Patricio. I'm Josh. You can find me online in various places. If you see Neme or Nemex anywhere, including in the chat here, that's always me. But I don't stream anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, we're still so early in quarantine. And we're New Yorkers, so going outside is very scary because there's too many people not following the rules.
No kidding. I saw many fewer noses today than I usually see.
Oh, that's nice.
I was very happy about that.
What a relief.
I've never been so jealous of people in LA until like the last few months. Vibrant Twitch culture and ability to go outside without immediately running into people not wearing masks. And I'm like, I'm jealous. Anywho, Klaus, who were you this whole time, aside from a synth and hiding in plain sight in front of your overlords who are hunting you down and all of your kind? Proceed.
That sums it up, but I'm Dracus. I'm actual Dracus on social media, just like it appears in chat. It's about that. Yeah.
And Dune, who are you when you're at home?
I'm Merc. I play Dune. I don't really do social medias or anything like that. I'm on the Discords. I'm on a variety of Discords. I'm Merc Worky on the Discords. Watch Masters of the Metaverse on Mondays on the Zombie Orpheus Twitch channel. I watch it because I love it. It's a great show. I'm not in it, but I like watching it. It's great. Yeah, pretty much that. I'm on the Zombie Orpheus Discord. I'm on the Cavalcadium. I'm on like a bunch of Discords. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, so
Cool.
thank y'all again for coming and hanging out with us. Feel free. Someday we will hit affiliate, and I don't really care for the money, and I'm not sure what to do with it, but if we hit affiliate, we get channel points, and then y'all can do channel point buy-ins for our game. And as a former improv addict, I am on board for this, and I want to do it. Because, then you can write some of my plot, and I don't have to. Not that I dislike it, it's just, I like
Yes, and
I do like yes, and is how our city has a Welsh Batman. Fantastic. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Bring your friends. Have them watch our VODs. That's why they're there, because not everyone can watch a live stream on Saturday night. Because apparently a lot of people have games to be in on Saturday night. Oh well.
It's the weekend.
But yeah, if we can get 50, I think all we need for affiliate maybe is 50 subscribers. It's a little
Followers, not subscribers.
Followers. Oh, yeah, we can't have subscribers yet. We're not affiliate.
Yeah, but also subscribers cost money, so like we don't need money.
We
We just
need money.
people...
Save your money.
Yeah.
Give your money to, maybe we'll do like charity streams someday if I can ever figure out how, but like we're here to have a fun gaming plus performance outlet while we are all trapped in an actual goddamn apocalypse. So that here you can watch us instead of doom scrolling for at least 3 hours of your week. So I hope we have given you something entertaining and ridiculous, even though we maybe don't take the World of Darkness quite as seriously as other games. I apologize if that is not to your taste.
The World of Darkness takes itself very seriously.
Very, very seriously.
Like,
it's very funny, but very seriously.
I can't. Well, right, which of course means you'll never have any really serious threats to contend with, I'm sure.
As long as I can beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker, I'm fairly fine with bigger threats.
I endorse that. Yes,
as long as I can handle it by getting two people to fight that are not me, I'm great.
You deal with this, not me. Anywho, it's not apocalypse yet. People aren't coming to me for info. Voodoo Lou Kerensky, I do not understand the reference. PM me on social media.
Which is survivalist.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're way ahead of me, bro. Good luck. And yeah, so good night, everyone. Come join us again this time next week for a Halloween episode, which will be up against everyone else's Halloween episodes, and I don't fucking care because we always run Saturday night, and I claim priority for my channel and my people. I protect, I attack. Anyway.
Damn it.
Alright.
Can't do the evil laugh. Oh well.
Wahahaha. Alright. Night, and see you next week. Same Welsh Bat time, same Welsh Bat channel for a different game. Bye!